Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Hope Light. So I'm Katie Rose. If you don't know this, if you are new here, then absolutely welcome to this channel. Feel free to have a good nosy round, have a little look at what I have, because I do love a little bit of everything when it comes to the world of spirituality and having a good chat as well. So you will find a few different things on my channel. So feel free to have a little nosy round, and if you have any questions, please do reach out. I do love to chat and have a good little community and build new connections. So today we are going to be doing predictions for 2023, the energy and guidance that you need to hear today of what 2023 is going to be giving you and producing to you, and the energy that you can kind of work with and connect with through the year of 2023. My readings are guidance, they are entertainment purposes, they are not set in stone. This is just a beautiful way to bring some guidance or confirmation or even an awareness into your life. Please take what resonates and leave everything else behind. And speaking of 2023, the energy is overall a 7 energy when it comes to numerology. I love numbers. I love the energy that each one carries. I love how it is pretty much in everything. And I have actually done a podcast on the energy of 2023. So if you are interested in learning more of the energy that we have been in December and what we're going through into the new year with, and what the sort of new year is asking of us and the energy that it's carrying forwards for us, then please do, I'll put a link in the description below, so please do click, and you can find it on my channel here. I have them as videos and I also have them on Spotify as podcast audio version. So pick what you fancy, listen however you want to listen, and as always, please do use the comment section. It is honestly so helpful for me as a creator, but also always nice to know somebody's watching or listening to something, just so I know what content you are liking and would like more of. Always lovely to hear from you guys as well, and maybe what you realize through listening to something. And it's just why I'm here. I love to just share and do this stuff with you guys. So with no further ado, let's dive in to your 2023 prediction. Welcome, my beautifuls, to your 2023 reading. So here we have 4 piles. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. And all you have to do is take a moment to tune in. Maybe you want to close your eyes. And as you open them, just see which card it is that you are guided to, which pile you're being called to. Each pile holds its own energy. Once you have chosen your pile, you can find the timestamps in the description below to take you straight to your pile. Welcome, pile 1. So this card here is going to be the card to take on the energy for the year of 2023. So this is what you're needing to embrace this year. And it is the squirrel card. Squirrel is all about knowing that you have all the resources that you need. It's about having courage to go after what you need, but also through the year to kind of save or put things away for a rainy day. And also within this card, there is a lot of creativity and mischief within it as well. So you're being called to really step into your own power and allow yourself to just be free and wild and everything that you need to be, that will bring you a love and acceptance of yourself as you move into the year. Okay, so let's have a look what else wants to come out today. So we have the caution card and the emergence card here. So these 2 cards tell me that, well, actually all 3 of these cards are telling me that there is a massive connection to nature that you will need through 2023. You are going to need to allow yourself time to be in nature, to allow it to heal you. So with the caution card, this is saying don't rush into anything in 2023. It is a time to kind of slow down, to ponder things, to really think about up for you. And when you surround yourself in nature, that is going to be when you get your biggest aha moments, when you find your answers. You are also, again, you've got this orange color coming in. So your creative side, allow it to flow. Be playful, be joyful, allow that part of your side to come up, because what I see here is as that emerges and you allow that part of yourself to be freed, this is when you can fully emerge and step into your own power. And this is where you take advantage of things. In 2023, I see opportunities arising, and this is the time to kind of take hold of them. But the reason we are not rushing into anything is because I feel like there's going to be more than one opportunity that comes up. So keeping an open mind will be key, and why it's important to kind of gather information, figure out what it is that you need, what's going to suit you best, what's going to suit the family best as well. And I'm seeing this card here, the Nine of Pentacles, coming up for you. And this is saying it's time to really allow yourself to slow down. Everything is going to fall into place, but you can't force it to happen. You have to take some time to just be, to be present, to enjoy the things that you've already created as well. So this year does seem a sort of slower year for you, and it is something to really embrace for yourself. The Four of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. What I see here is this sense of feeling lost, and this is why it's kind of like searching and wanting and feeling this scarcity feeling, or like you're having to be impulsive because you might miss this opportunity, you might miss that. But what I see here is that is what holds you back. It stops you from flowing into this abundance that you have, that is there. It's just you have to allow it to come in its own time. Again, it has this sense of forcing things all the time, which is why it's saying don't rush into anything. Gather your resources, gather your knowledge, figure out what it is that you actually want that will support yourself and those around you. I'm also seeing with the 2 fives that have come out here is this sense of freedom that you want, but it feels like it's being trapped. So this may be playing out into 2023, and something to be aware of as you move through the year is that you crave freedom. And when you are trapped, when you're stuck in that cave, that sort of maybe depression, that darkness element of things, then you become staggered. This is when you find yourself pulling away from the world, the retreating, but not in a way of reflection. It's almost like a retreating in the way of just hiding rather than addressing the issues. So you're being asked to heal. With the fives as well, there is this, again, a sort of new beginning, a freedom. Nature again comes into play here with you. And if we get a couple more cards here. Stuck and stagnant. Self-care, and this is just reiterating what we've already had. So it's saying that you can become stuck and stagnant, and I feel like your mind traps you. And I see this in the 5 of Cups, and it's like crying over spilt milk and not seeing what you have in front of you, not allowing yourself to take time to appreciate that, to celebrate these accomplishments, these skills, these things that you have learned. But because life feels so quick and fast paced, you don't have the time, or you haven't allowed yourself the time to sit and appreciate everything you've overcome, everything that you have achieved. And that is what I'm seeing for 2023, is you learning this. This is what you will be learning through the year, is how to notice when you're getting stuck in these old ways, these old patterns that aren't helping. And self-care, putting yourself before others, the letting go of the people pleasing, is going to be absolutely key for you to find this energy. And you're going to realize just how much you already know, that you already have. You're going to appreciate yourself a lot more. There's just this whole shift in energy of who you truly are, what you desire, how you have overcome so many things, but haven't taken that time to kind of pat yourself on the back. And it's time now. Your soul is calling for you to kind of maneuver. There's a maneuvering that is happening here as well. And to be able to kind of pivot and maneuver, you have to slow down. You can't do it while you're going full blast. And triggers, yes. So this is exactly what it is. You've got the 9 coming out again. So you've got the 5s and the 9s. So these may play a role for you through the year that you may be noticing. But with the triggers, it is saying not to give up and also to be aware. Again, I'm coming back to the mind of how it seems to trick you into thinking that you're stuck, that there aren't options in front of you. So that is something to be aware of as you move through this year, because you're missing things is what I'm seeing here. You're really missing out on opportunities, on fun. Fun is a big one for you. It's almost like there's too much of a seriousness that has been playing out in your life, and it's time to learn how to kind of give up control in a way, to give up that need to have all the answers, and to learn how to listen to your heart, to listen to your soul, to listen to yourself, and learn the inner voice within you. So let's just have a look to see kind of what obstacles. So we know the mind is going to be an obstacle for you, and that is something that you will be learning through the year. And you have the Strength, and then we have the 8 of Swords. And this is saying, yes, so the obstacle is that you don't believe in yourself, that you're thinking that you don't have the strength, that you don't have the courage, but you do. It's time to kind of embrace this lioness, that lion within you, allowing that sort of roar to be heard, to speak up, to say what you want, to show up in a completely new energy that is thriving, that the sun is creating. The energy of the sun is so beautiful, and it will connect strongly through your year. And it is the energy of creation. It is the ability to change and shift energy. You can also think of the phoenix burning away what you don't need. And you've also got this infinity symbol that comes up here. And with this, I'm seeing this giving and receiving, making sure that the relationships in your life, whether they are family, friends, or whatever it may be, but there has to be a give and take. It's the energy exchange. And what I see here is too often you have given but not been receiving in return. And that doesn't mean somebody has to praise you or do something for you in return. It's the energy that it is received with that we talk about here. And also with the 8 of Swords, you can see here this butterfly that is coming out of the cocoon. This is the transformation. This is the movement forwards. This is so powerful as you move through the year, to know that what you were working on, what you have been working on in 2022 is being important as you then move on to 2023 to fully emerge. And again, there's going to be some healing, but it doesn't feel as sort of painful maybe, because healing can be painful. It doesn't necessarily feel as painful as what it has been in 2022. It's an easier sort of healing. There are many things to kind of address, especially again around the mind side, but you have the strength to be able to do that. You have the time. There's an extra element of a time that comes up here that is being shown. So it may be that you are finally figuring out that you need to schedule some time in, or you just generally have a little bit more time on your hands this year. But it's really about allowing yourself to appreciate what you already have, what you've already grown, all the things that you have already created. And stop trying to look outside of yourself. Stop trying to look for the next thing, where to go next, what's next, here's that, and da. This is about stopping and just looking at what you already have and work with that. Work with what you already have with you, or that you've already created. So I'm going to pick a rune. And let's have a look at this one. This is a brilliant one. This is literally strength. So it's reiterating the strength that you have, that you must hold. And also the rose in this feels so calling to me. And what I get from this is that loved ones are around you, that you can be that rose, you can fully blossom. You can allow yourself to show up and be seen in a completely new light and a new way. And with this as well, I also feel like health-wise is improving for 2023 as well. There's this sense of recovery that comes up. So embrace that, allow that. And that also plays into this card of the 9 of Pentacles, of this time to heal. And it's like you've done the healing, but there's like the aftermath of healing where energy still needs to kind of flow. You've done the hard work, but there's these bits that need to still work through its way through your system. That's the recovery element of it. And that's how I see that. And I get as well nervous system coming up here. So your nervous system coming back into balance. I'm also getting breath work to really work with your breath to allow your nervous system to calm down when you feel you need it. So that is something to look into this year, of breath work and allowing yourself time. Everything this whole year is about change, a shift, and an embrace of your strength and the courage that you have within you to allow it to fully emerge so that you no longer become stuck and stagnant. You're moving past that. And it's time to ask yourself whether you're compromising too much on something. That is something to ask yourself, to maybe journal on and just see what comes out. So that is your reading of 2023. Please put the emoji of the lion in the comments if this resonated, so I know what pile you chose. Welcome, pile 2. So this card here is going to be the card to embrace the energy to carry through 2023 for you. You have the beaver. The beaver is about working hard, not getting distracted, not overthinking and overcomplicating things, not comparing. This is you just getting on and doing what you need to do. This is very deep grounding work as well. So let's have a look what else is coming up and out for 2023. We have adaptability and the full moon. So what I'm seeing here is that the full moon will be a really good energy to be working with throughout the whole year. So every full moon, maybe have a ritual that you do, writing out what you want to let go of, what it is that you want to embrace. And there's a lot of sort of self-care element that comes up in this as well. So really looking after yourself and really putting yourself first. So that is something to be aware of. Also, full moons may bring up a lot more emotions. You may notice that more so this year, that when the full moon arises, that you are becoming more emotional. And it's just because this year there's going to be a lot of healing, and it feels it's almost like being released month by month, but it will be what you can handle. So don't fear about that side of things. You will always be given what you can handle. So then we have adaptability, and this is saying you may have plans right now for 2023, and they may not be what actually happens in 2023. It feels like there is something in the sort of universe. There's something hidden that you can't see quite yet, like a secret. Like there's something that's been going on in the background that you're not allowed to see yet because it's not the right time. So it is about being adaptable. So sometimes you can get stuck in the beaver as well. It feels like for you guys, you can be too very sort of organized, have to be this way, focus. But you also have to have the adaptability to work with the beaver, because the beaver will get so much shit done. It is a brilliant energy to embrace. And when you are feeling like you're procrastinating, this is when you call on the beaver. But when you feel like you're getting stuck in a certain way and you're really sort of struggling to see the path forwards, or you feel like something isn't getting done, then you need to reevaluate and adjust and just have a little check-in. So what you plan at the beginning, say January, and what will come in December is going to be a completely different path to what you're currently kind of projecting and working towards. But that's okay. All of that is needed first at the beginning of the year, because it will tie in and play out to be able to get you to where you need to be in December. So you are also being asked to really evaluate the people around you. So I feel like this is maybe a partnership of some kind, somebody that is not being supportive. There's somebody that is kind of dragging the energy down a bit, kind of pulling you down. And it really affects the way that you work as well. I kind of feel like this is somebody that you either work with or literally in a partnership business-wise with. So there feels like there needs to be some issues addressed. Or there needs to be some space as well to kind of take some time to think about what it is that you want, so you're not being influenced by other people's opinions all the time. Seven of Swords, it's saying the same again. There's just somebody that is kind of bringing your energy down. So you have to address that. You have to look into it, because it feels like you're giving too much. And it's almost like they're not, when you have a group project in school and somebody does all the work and the other one just kind of passes because they just were in the group. It's that kind of energy. It's like they're just skating by. They're not putting in the work that they should be putting in. So really have a good sort of feel around within yourself of who this could be. You probably know who it is already. But this energy will be holding you back if you don't address it. It feels like it could kind of weigh you down, make you feel sort of heavy in energy if it's not something that is addressed. And you know how to do what you do. And if you've been thinking about going solo, I feel like that would be a good idea. It does feel like it is something that will support you as you move forwards to go solo, because it will work out better. You can do the work that you want to do. And when you get stuck, journal on those things, because you have lots of ideas. You're very creative, but something seems to hold you back from actually getting something done. And it feels like it could be this person that is just kind of Lindy Long sort of energy, like I don't know what other word to describe that, just like half-assed. And you've got the replenish card that's coming up here as well. Work wisely, okay? It's about working smarter, not harder this year. It really does come in strongly here. More time for you, more time for relationships, more time to kind of have that intimate connection with someone. And to be able to do that, you have to work smarter, because otherwise it's draining you. You are being almost a burden to yourself when you know you should be stopping, you know you should be calming down, you know you should be slowing everything down, and yet you still keep going because it's a habit. But if you want to have the sort of friendships and relationships that I feel that you want, you do have to make sure that you are taking time to replenish, to put some grounding work in, to really look after yourself. And your intuition is going to really guide you this year. Your intuition is going to be something that you work on, that you build, because this is going to be how you will figure out what you really want, and to not be influenced by others' opinions all the time. You're going to start taking flight. When you start making that decision of what is right for you, this is when you are going to really start taking flight. This is when you're going to feel the energy, feel that passion, feel the creativity flowing. This is when projects really sort of come to life, are brought into reality. And this is like what you've been searching for and wanting, but you've been too scattered and too worried about what others think and what others' opinions are, and have been trying to work to those people instead of working to yourself. It feels like you have a unique way of either working or showing up in the world, and you have to start embracing you and the way that you can show up for others, because that is you. And meditating, grounding, and unexpected magic. And this is what I'm saying. There is something coming up that you do not know. It's not in your plans because you couldn't even think of it right now. And what I'm seeing here is that you need to let go of control to be able to do that, to let go of the details. So it's great to be that hard worker, because you're going to need that. But at the same time, you can't get stuck in that energy. So embrace it when you need it, when you feel like you're procrastinating and you're really struggling just to move forwards. But at the same time, you have to have an openness, an open mind, so that magic can flow into you. And there is a lot of these pinks and purples coming up for you. And this is saying that it's time to really embrace your intuition, the inner voice. You have the compass within you, but you have to embrace it, and you have to find it and show it to the world. You have to take action on it, because it can't do it for you. Grounding is going to, like I say, with the beaver, there is a lot of grounding energy that comes in here. This is going to be key before making decisions, to make sure you have grounded your energy. You can do that through meditation, going out, literally sitting on the ground, or walking barefoot on the ground, going out walking, anything where it's just nature. Put some flowers in your house. Like, there's so many different ways to be able to ground, but it is going to be a key point for making decisions. It feels like, to be able to fly, to be able to spread your wings, this is what you need. You need to be able to ground, because nature calls to you, and it has like this sort of whisper that it wants to carry to you on the winds, that unexpected magic that comes up here. It's trying to be guided to you. And it's also why the full moons are going to play an important part, because this will help you to stop getting stuck in the having to do it this way or your kind of plan for 2023. So the full moons are your place to kind of reevaluate and readjust, to check in, to see if anything needs to change so that you can move forwards in a way that is aligned to you. Okay, so let's have a look to see what obstacles are coming up for you. So again, there is this crossroads that comes up, and this is when you start to get that scattered feeling. You feel ungrounded. That's when you have your problems. This is when you need to reevaluate things, is when you're feeling like you don't know which way to go. Meditation is a great way, but grounding is going to be the one that really kind of moves energy, because that's what it does. It's an energy exchange that happens with the earth. And there's also the sun that is coming up here. And this is again saying that there is a connection with the sun to shift your energy, to move your energy. And it can be as simple as just turning your face to the sun and surrendering. It's a beautiful little practice to do. And it's one of the most simple things that you can do anywhere. And with this one here, I feel like you do have to get rid of someone. There is somebody that feels like they are just trying to take either control or take credit for something, and you are just being asked to kind of look back at who is doing this to you. I feel like it's like watch your back sort of element here. So there's a caution that comes up here, and it's just because they're trying to take something from you in the way of taking credit, taking your ideas. So that is something to just maybe pay attention to have an awareness of, because you are unique. So because you are unique, the energy surrounding what you do is also unique. So technically no one can take that from you, but it doesn't mean they won't try. And it's like, again, it kind of brings you down, energy comes down, body feeling heavy. You can feel like you've got the flu, or just feeling really sort of this unworthy sort of feeling and undervalued, but it's all yours. They can't take that away from you. So this is just something to pay attention to and be aware of. And again, I get this element of cut them out if possible. So let's have a look at what rune we have for you. Okay, so you can't see this very well because I had to kind of shimmy these a bit, because I had to kind of create this a bit because I lost mine. You will be so pleased with this, because this is success. This is victory. This is saying everything will work out. And it's like the best sort of rune in a way to get, really, if you think about it, because it's ultimate success, complete and utter victory. It just might look a little different to how you kind of see it right now and what you're planning right now. So this is why you need to have that adaptability and leeway in how you're going to move through these sort of pivoting moments, because again, it feels like monthly there needs to be a check-in. So that is what I have for you, my lovely pile 2 for 2023. I would love it if you put a little emoji of the beaver in the comments. Let me know which pile you picked and if this reading resonated with you. Have a wonderful year, my loves. Welcome pile 3 to your reading. Now this card is going to carry the energy to embrace and take on for the year of 2023. Oh, you have the bear energy. This is one of my favorite cards to design. So this is saying that you're being gifted a new beginning for 2023. There is also a very protective energy that comes in here, which I absolutely love. And there's also this element of family that comes in. So let's have a look. Let's dive in and see what else is coming up for you guys for 2023. So we have affirmations, surrender, and nurture. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that your thoughts are going to be very important. but also nature is going to be very important. So you've got the nature and nurture coming up here very, very strongly. And what I see here is there are things that you have been planting or are planting right now, and you have to nurture them carefully. So it's almost like things aren't happening quick enough. So something to be aware of is your words, because it's almost like you're writing something off before it's even had chance to even grow. So timing is key, and it's about allowing yourself to surrender into that. Once you have planted the seed, all you can do is nurture it, look after it, visualize what the end product is going to be. And you have to let go and surrender into the time that it needs to do that. You can't force that part. You have to be able to just allow it to grow in its own time. Everything is unique, and you can't stick to deadlines. It feels like there has to be a leeway here. So let's see what else is coming up. The Eight of Pentacles and the Fool. Yeah, there's new beginnings. Like, there is definitely this element of new things coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of studying. For some of you, I get like, is it herbology or like naturopath or homeopathy? There's the plant side for some of you that feels like there's a learning in that way. You will be learning skills as you go through this year. It's like you're taking one, adding it to your collection, taking another, adding it to your collection, and it's building and building and building. And I feel like this has been happening already. This doesn't feel like this is coming into 2023. This has been happening. So now as you go into 2023, you're going to really start kind of cultivating and alchemizing all these things that you already know and have, to be able to start this new project, to be able to start this new beginning, to really embrace you as an incredible human being. And you may need to close your eyes and take that jump, that risk, that leap of faith to start with, but you will fly, you will be caught, and you will start a new adventure. There's a new journey that is coming up here. But again, you have to have this ability to surrender, because again, you can't make things happen. And this seems to be something I need to say over and over again to you, pile 3. You can't make things happen to your timeline in the way exactly that you want it, because that's how it is in your head. You have to do your best to let go, because it's easier said than done. And also, when you let go and surrender, you still need intention. You can't just let go and hope for the best and put no action in. You're still working, you're still going towards things, but you're kind of surrendering to the outcome and allowing it to unfold as it needs to, rather than how you believe it should be. Because the universe has your back always, and it will unfold the way that it needs to. So the more that you surrender into that, the easier it will be to move through the rest of the year. So let's have a look here and what comes out. Oh, bloody hell. Oh my God, how many? Right, let's have a look. We got trust the niggle. So this is saying that you have these niggling ideas and thoughts, and you haven't been listening. So now it's time to listen, to trust in that feeling within you. And this is very much the energy of 2023, is listening to your intuition. Then you have Sisterhood of the Rose, and this is beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. This is you. Again, you're taking all of this, all these skills, what you've learned, and you're creating something and teaching to others, or passing it down, bringing it all together and creating something new and different. And then you've got boundaries. Your boundaries are going to be key. And again, this comes up with the bear. This is a very strong element of the bear, is creating boundaries and recognizing if you are compromising. Are you compromising your boundaries? And if so, why? Because your boundaries are there for a reason. So if you're compromising on them, there needs to be a reason and a reevaluation of why you're compromising them. So this is asking, where do you need to establish better boundaries? So where are you overstepping your mark and your boundary? And then you have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And that's a lovely question to come back to through the year, to ask yourself, if I knew I would be supported, what would I do? And just check in with yourself and listen to that niggle then when you're asking that question. Really listen to what you want to do. If you didn't have the fear, if you had all the money you needed, what would you do? Where would you go? These are your truth, because it's the fear that holds us back. And the truth is, if we didn't have all that fear, if we had all the money we needed to do everything, we had all the support that we needed, we had all the resources that we needed, which is also the squirrel is saying that you have all the resources that you need as well. But you have to remember that and know that all of this has been building up because this is needed this year. This is the year to take that and build something and create something. But you have to listen within yourself and trust that this is unfolding for a reason. Trust that all this that you've learned, that you've cultivated, that you've created has been done for a reason. And this year will be the year to reveal that reason and how you're going to do that. Okay, so let's have a look here. We have replenish and negativity. So making sure that you're moving away from those that are crossing your boundaries, that aren't listening, that aren't respecting you. There's an element of somebody not respecting you, and it drains you. It completely and utterly drains you, and people are taking and taking and taking, and no more. No more. It's time to say no. It's time to stand your ground. It's time to be strong. It's time to bring that bear energy in and really stand up for yourself and your truth so that you can have this new beginning, because otherwise you won't take that risk, that leap of faith, because you don't have the kind of energy to do it, because there's too much negativity around you kind of holding you back. So you have to replenish. You have to take time out to ground. You have to take time out to kind of work on your mind, your thoughts, because they are creating your reality. And when you have negative people around you, that is the energy that you're kind of taking on and embracing sometimes. So this is why it's important to move away from those people, to put in stronger boundaries, so that you can replenish, so that you can listen to that inner guidance within you, to let that compass emerge that is always within you to guide you on your path. That it's almost like you haven't been able to hear it for quite some time, but it's starting to emerge now. But there's also this sort of, like, I see a seesaw. It's a balancing act of making sure you have those strong boundaries and look after yourself. Okay, so let's have one of these as well then. And the elements water. So embrace the energies of water, cleansing, clearing, renewing. A sense of motion, movement, and flow. Connect to your emotions. You're allowed to feel your emotions. You're allowed to have your thoughts, your feelings. You're allowed to express them. You're allowed to put them into the world, because it's almost like you've been holding on to them for so long that, again, body-wise, it feels draining. It feels heavy. It feels like a negative sort of thing. So what I'm seeing here is water will be a great way of you to be able to cleanse. You can do baths with intention. You can put petals in. You can put oils in and do what you need to really create a sort of ritual, in a way, of cleansing and clearing. So embrace the elements of water, of your emotions, because you are going to have a greater strength over your emotions when you put your boundaries in place. So let's have a look at what rune is coming up. Let's see this one. Okay, so what we have here with this one, it's a bit like there's a line put in place, and this is the sort of stagnant energy that can come up. But it's also kind of saying to stop, to stand still. That's what I feel that this is calling to you for the year, is this ability to stand still and just listen sometimes, to really tune in and pay attention. almost like a cooling off period in a way, just to allow yourself, it's like to breathe, like it's like your lungs to have that moment of clarity and breath. And then we have the Three of Cups and the Moon card. And this is saying that there's going to be things that will be revealed over time, but there's also this, it feels like a very strong element of your mind and the subconscious. And the subconscious is all about sort of the automatic programs that are running, the autopilot state of things. And this year will be you kind of revealing those things and the way that you're kind of, and it comes into the people pleasing thing. As you stop to people please and put your boundaries in place, this is when you start to recognize, oh, I'm doing that purely to please that person. Why do I do that? Oh, because as a child, I felt I had to do that. And it's like there's a reveal that is coming out of the moon. And again, it connects very strongly with the emotions and the water. So there is going to be a strong healing of you as a person through this year. And that can be uncomfortable and it can bring up many, many things within us. But the more that you trust in this, the more that you will heal and the more that your path will reveal itself to you in a much more clarity, because you're ready to see it now. I feel like you're truly ready to see. And with the Three of Cups here, there is, again, this beautiful healing that comes in within the emotions, but there's also new people that are coming into your life. And this is also saying here that you're going to kind of find your community. Those like-minded people are going to step into your life in a much brighter and stronger way, where you feel so truly connected that it's almost like you've missed that in friendships before. You're going to really see what it's supposed to feel like to connect with people, to feel seen, to feel heard. And it's like you then go on and take on the world together almost, because you're all supporting each other, embracing each other, encouraging each other. And that's what we need to see. There's creativity that comes in here, which comes in with the bear energy as well. And it's about embracing this part. These are completely exciting new beginnings that are absolutely coming in, but you also have to be aware of the seesaw and the balancing act that comes into play of stopping, reevaluating, checking the negativity. Where is it coming from? Can you have that in your life? Will you accept that? Is that overstepping your boundaries? And to speak up when somebody is overstepping your boundaries, and let them know why it's not okay to do that. And that is a practice to do that. But it feels like the strength that comes out of it and the confidence that is kind of emerges out of you when you do that is going to be so powerful and so sort of enlightening as well, because it gives you space within your mind to see clearly. And there's a spiritual sort of illumination that comes up through 2023 for you, I feel like. So absolute new beginnings coming in for you. Exciting as well. Just keep a check on the balancing side of things and looking after yourself. So I would love it if you put a little bear emoji in the comments below to let me know which pile you picked, and share whatever you would like about this reading with me. I hope you have a wonderful year, my loves. Welcome pile 4 to your 2023 reading. Now this card is going to be the card to kind of tune into for the year, the energy to embrace and carry through. So this is the bee. Yes. So you may be a bit of a busy bee this year, and also there is so much success that will come in this year. I also see a lot of healing. There is a lot of sort of compassion and understanding for yourself and others around you as well. And it's just about keep going this year. Keep moving. Feels very, very busy, and that movement keeps coming up. So this is why it's going to be important to look after yourself, because it is going to be a very busy year. You are going to be asked to make some decisions as well as you move through this year. And it feels like these decisions are going to, some of them are going to be needed to be like quick decisions. There's a quickness, and again, it comes with this busy. My energy is like, woo, it's very, very on the go. But this is why it's going to be important to look after yourself, because there's almost like there's going to be a moment where you feel you should slow down, and at the same time you feel you can't. But the important thing is to listen to those niggling feelings within you that ask you to slow down. And here we've got the double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. And this is the energy I see for you this year, is really kind of connecting with the world. It feels like community comes up with the B as well. You know, we're working in community, we're connecting with people. There's so much sort of wholesome feeling that comes into your reading, so wholesome. And you know, all of this energy, all of it is like, dance with life, do something to change your energy. So when you're getting stuck, dance, move. And that's what I see. It's like this movement, this sort of creation, this constant flow, and it's constantly flowing and it's beautiful. But then you're going to get to a moment where it's like you reach almost like a dam, and then you're going to have to make a decision on which way you're going to be flowing next. But it doesn't feel like really hard decisions. It feels like, again, these quick little decisions. But once you make the decision, flow with it, see where it leads. Don't change your mind too quickly. Later on, you can absolutely change your mind, but to start with, you gotta let it play out to see where it flows. There is a lot coming up spiritually as well in this energy, and it's like, what lights you up? And the channeling side of things, like listen, tune in, pay attention to the voice within you, to really connect spiritually, develop that side of yourself this year. That feels so powerful and embracing and enlightening. And it's almost like what you've been calling for in some ways, it feels like. And we also have like moving out of a hard time. It feels like 2023 might have been a bit of a rough one. It may have been quite hard. It may have kind of brought you down and really brought up a lot of painful kind of memories, it feels like. But what I'm seeing is, as you're going into 2023, there's a lot more time of slowing down and just being present. And that doesn't mean you have to have loads of time for yourself. It just means that you have the ability to notice this extra moment. And it can be the simplest of things, of enjoying a beautiful view or enjoying the ability to read a book. And this is saying it. Don't give up as well. You know, you've got to keep moving. You're not quite there yet. You know, there is beautiful change happening within this year, but it's almost like a learning year as well. So you've got but there's a nice balance to it as well. You know, it's not like it's going to be go, 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 go in a negative way. It's all good things. It feels like it's everything that you've kind of been wanting. There's an embrace. There is just such a beauty within it, and I love it. I'm loving this energy. This is bloody brilliant. Okay, let's see what else is coming. Oh, we got a flyer. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, so we had 2 cards jump out. Reawaken and nurture. Absolutely, this is that energy that is coming up so strongly here for you. So what I'm seeing, again, you've got kind of like, I want to put this over here. Let's move these around a bit. It's because the relax and the nurturing, that's a slower energy. Okay, so this is definitely sort of a need to kind of sometimes schedule this in, but there is also this need to get back to nature. I feel like water, the sound of water is a beautiful place to be, but it's just more about just being outside, being present, making sure you're eating well, you're looking after yourself. The balance of the mind, body, spirit comes up here. Taking time to kind of meditate and having patience and not having to rush everything. Even though you're going to be very busy, there's a slowness to it. You know, there's a timing to it. So like I say, there is this sort of balance that comes in, and it's such a beautiful energy. It's so like two-sided as well, but like this says double mission as well. Like there's a double-sidedness to what is coming up for you this year, of this busy going, but it's so energized, it's so supportive, it's fueling you. It's a beautiful thing, because normally when we see busy, it's like draining and things like that, but that is not what I'm seeing here at all. It feels very powerful, I want to say. And And then we've got the reawaken. And again, that's the spiritual side. This is your inner child awakening. This is the inner you awakening. This is the connection to your higher self awakening. I see angels coming in here. There is just so much spiritual energy kind of vibrating through the year of 2023, which it does, because it is a 7 energy, and that is literally the energy of 2023. So this is you aligning with that energy, embracing that energy, and really being called into that energy. It's so beautiful. Okay, let's have a look what we've got here. 7 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles. Oh my God, there's loads here. The Son of Wands, the Hermit, and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, let's have a look what I'm seeing here. There is a lot, again, so this busyness feels like career. It feels like that is a work element, because you've got the 8 of Pentacles here, and this is the skills, learning the skills that you need. And like I said, there's like a learning to the whole year. And then there's also the 3 of Pentacles, connection, community, which we're saying again was the B as well. And there is this sort of coming together and overcoming obstacles, getting to the top of the mountain, because you have the people that you need in your corner. They're encouraging you, empowering you, supporting you all the way through the year, all the way to the top of that mountain, it feels like. And then over here, there is a healing that is going to be coming from this. There's going to be a healing within this new energy, this buzzing energy. And it's like an awakening and a knowing of how powerful you are and how much you can accomplish when it's aligned, when it feels good, when your body is able to kind of match the energy. And this is you learning that. You are a great healer as well. There is such a great healing energy that comes from this. And I see it being expanded into the world to touch as many people as possible. So really embrace that. And again, we can then come to the Hermit. There is going to obviously be some times where you do need to rest. You do need to kind of recoup. And I also see here, though, there is the spiritual side strengthening even more. And it's all interconnected as one kind of emerges and flourishes, then your spiritual side opens up a bit more, and it's just this constant flow of energy working together effortlessly, so effortlessly. And then with the 6 of Pentacles, what I'm seeing here is there's like there is almost an obstacle almost here of there's a little bit of a heavy energy to this one. And what I'm seeing with this one is there's a bit of crying almost, but it doesn't feel like it's too bad. There's some crying of cleansing, but also it's almost like giving too much sometimes. So making sure you have that balance of the giving and receiving, because this could drain you in that way if you allow your boundaries to be overstepped, if you're not clear in what you will and won't accept. So that is definitely something to pay attention to as you move through the year. So just kind of having a check in to make sure that you have that balance, that you aren't overgiving, that you because if you were to go without this rest and this nurturing element, then you will kind of end up here. That's what I'm seeing. This is the obstacle that you may face in 2023, is where you're giving too much and not taking the time to stop and relax and to just be. And also I get like trapped emotions as well. So not allowing yourself to feel your emotions and just have a good cry when you need to. So that is definitely something just to be aware of as you move through the year, which is why it's so important to have that balancing energy for you. But again, with this, there's just something where it's very important to be strong in saying no, because it's almost like you already know what you can handle, and the energy is going to be so aligned to be able to work with what you kind of have or what you will have. But it's when someone takes advantage of your good nature that it can become too much. So it's a very fine line between the perfect amount and just a little bit too much. So just be very aware of that and say no when you mean no. Okay, let's have a look what rune is coming up here. let's have a look. Okay, so with this is like, if you think of it like a dice cup almost, so like a shake and a roll of the dice. This is saying sometimes you do have to take a gamble. You do have to surrender into fate. I always think of this kind of like the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot deck. And that is the ever-changing movement of things. There is a season to everything. Like the bee, there is a season to it. And this is just a remembrance of, this is why we have to relax, because you can't be in summer 24/7. There is a flow to everything, and you have to work with the flow of that energy and figure out that energy for yourself, of that kind of circle, that wheel moving constantly. But it's also saying with this as well that you need to look at the bigger picture sometimes. And you don't always have to know the answers. You don't have to know where you're going all the time. It's a learning of how to surrender as you move through the year. And also, it also says as well, you know, this is the universe working in the way that it needs to. This is why you have to have the cycles, because sometimes things have to come to an end so the universe can present the new energy or the new path forwards. So this is why you do need to make sure that you are taking this time through the busyness. But it feels so good, and it feels like I just want to, it's just such a powerful, big energy, and it's just full of abundance. There is also like financially, there is a weight lifted. It doesn't feel like a massive weight lifted, but it just feels like there's breathing space. So allow yourself to take that, accept that, and you don't have to do more to be happy. You just have to find your balance within the energy that is being presented to you. So that is what I have for you, my loves. Pop a little bee emoji in the comments below. Let me know what pile you picked, and share anything that you would like to in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful year, my loves.